for the 10th episode of the SIJHL Laker Weekly podcast with Wayne Strachan of the Fort Frances Lakers. How are you today, Wayne?
I'm good. How are you, Jay?
Good. The first thing is, you probably knew I was going to ask this. The comment you made after last night's 7-1 loss is you got your asses handed to you. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, just a game where the other team, I guess, was more hungry. Played with a lot more urgency and just were resilient in what they did, and basically they're just working hard and pressuring us and taking space away from us, and we're not responding well to it, and we got to find that. Obviously, the intensity level that they're at, and I said it in my I think after the first game that they have a mission, and they want to beat us, obviously, and rightfully so. We've been tough on them the last few years, and if I was in their position, I would have the same view or the same goal, and they've set out for sure in the first two games to accomplish that, and we're going to have to find a way here in about the next 36 hours to get back into the series, and I think number one has to be just looking at our performance and what we need to do to be more intense and more focused at the start of the game.
And this isn't putting blame on the goalies, because again, it takes a team to win or it takes a team to lose. But Dryden has, you have 2/3 of the shots that Dryden does, and you have 5 goals. They have 13 goals going into game 3. Is it just not getting chances, or is there something else going on?
No, we're getting our chances. We've had opportunities on odd man rushes, good scoring opportunities, and many of them aren't hitting the net. We probably have as many or close to as many missed shots in both games as we do shots, and our power play has been inadequate, and it's not that we're not getting opportunities there either. It's just to watch our team and even throughout the year, and it's led up to this point, and it's something we've addressed many times, is we think we need to score pretty goals, where we think we need to make pretty plays to score a goal, and the reality is, if you don't put the puck to the net, you have no chance of scoring. And to hit the net or to only get 20 shots in both of the games doesn't give you a very good percentage of scoring a lot of goals. So it hasn't sunk in till this point. Hopefully something, I guess, triggers their minds, and we realize that we need to put pucks on net and make their goalie make saves. He's done a good job thus far in the first 2 games, but we haven't really tested him at all either.
And talking about game 1, it was 6-4 loss, and you guys were in that game, and there's only 5 penalties. And watching last night, there was 10 penalties apiece, so it wasn't just you guys that were targeted. Both teams had, quite a few penalties in last night. And watching the game, Dylan Cooner got a little bit more physical than he usually plays. Now, is that because he's frustrated, or is it because nobody else is stepping up?
Could be both, I guess. There's probably a little frustration in some of our leaders' minds, I guess. They're not used to being in this situation, but Dryden's leaning on them pretty hard, and rightfully so. With Vertanen and Cooner, they brought the better part of our scoring throughout the year, and now with Matt Tustin on their line, that's our top 3 scorers. So they need to realize that they're going to garner that attention, especially at this time of the year, and could be a little frustration, and it could be a little leadership on his part to show that we need to play with more intensity and not back down from these guys and be intimidated. And let's be honest, that's part of their game plan is intimidation of their opponents, and they've done a good job in that factor. Through the better part of the two games, I thought we competed a little harder in those regards last night, but just not enough to the point where we need to be right now. So he's probably frustrated, but also trying to be a leader and show the guys that we can't back down and we got to keep pushing forward against a good team like Dredden is.
And that's the thing, is it's showing his, like you say, his leadership, where he's willing to do whatever it takes to really to get the win, to succeed, right?
Well, that's really what it's about at this time of the season. You gotta put forth the effort and win at all costs, and that's something that we need to start believing in, and we didn't have the right mindset, in my opinion, in either of the first two games, and we were kind of beat mentally even before the game started. And why, I don't have that answer. I feel we were prepared in knowing everything about Dryden and their game plan and whatnot through our game plan assessment and video, and they've had our number for the better part of the year and been a solid team throughout the year, but nothing matters now, and it's got to be pay the price, play with some heart, play with some passion, and give yourself an opportunity to have success, and we haven't done that so far.
And going into game 3, like say being down 2 games, at this point, I'm not saying you can't coach, but at this point it's up to them if they want it, right?
Yeah, that's something we kind of talked about at the end of the game last night. Is they make 7-game series for that reason, and being down 2-0 at this point means nothing. We can, if we win game 3, we're that much closer in the series, and then game 4 is also in our own ring. So our focus is on tomorrow night. We'll have a good skate here in about a half an hour, and work on a few things, mainly our special teams in that skate, and then mentally we have to get to the point where we have that attitude of win at all costs, and in the professional sports or whatever sport you're playing, the mental side of things is 80% or even higher on whether you're going to have a success or achieve greatness, and our guys got to get to that point where we can believe that we can win a hockey game here, and from there on see what can happen if we compete and put our minds to it.
Now, and like I say, not dating you or anything, but like I say, you've been around long enough when coaching at this level, and with what you've seen this year, and I guess asking you bluntly, do you think the guys have it in them, that they want it bad enough to come back from this 2-0 deficit?
I'm hoping. I surely haven't given up, and I know our coaching staff hasn't. We're committed to doing what we need to do, and been a lot of short sleep nights and trying to prepare for both series, and going into game 4 of the last series, and I thought that we kind of found that edge and found that mentality which we need to play with a little bit of desperation and understand what it takes to win in the playoffs. But that didn't carry over into game 1 and 2, and I guess as a coach or a staff, we can talk and talk and talk and talk, but the reality of the game is the 20 guys that go out on the ice have to be prepared and focused on the task at hand, and that's again what we've kind of talked about, and the opportunity we have here as a team. Not many teams get these opportunities to get this far in a season, and I think last night it was even announced that through the 10 leagues in the SIJHL we're down to the final 40, and that in itself,
actually now, so.
yeah, and that in itself's a privilege, but obviously to get to the next round and be a part of the final 20 or be a part of the final if it's 12 or 14 teams that get to go to the tournaments to see who goes to the RBC is even a bigger privilege, and that's what I think needs to be realized in our room. And they're good hockey players, they're a good team. They just have to go out and believe in that, and battle hard and go to war with Dryden in the next game.
And coming into the Ice for Kids arena, it might spark something with the hometown crowd being that sixth man there, right?
Well, hoping, Fort Frances is kind of a funny town for fan support in those ways, and not trying to be negative or anything, but even with our team, we average somewhere between the high 300s and to maybe 450 a game, and playoff time seems to be better. We haven't had a bigger crowd than that through the first round, and which was some good hockey to watch, and even with the high school team during the year, I'd venture to say they get about 200, 250 a game, and many of those are probably family members, but yet when we host OFSA or we host the Dudley Hewitt Cup, there seems to be 700,000 fans to watch teams that nobody knows, and when the hometown team plays, there's 1,000 or more, and it'd be nice to see those extra 700 people out tomorrow night to cheer on the team and obviously watch a strong caliber of hockey and two good teams battle it out. So we always hope for that fan support, and our loyal ones that are here, we definitely appreciate what they do for us, and hopefully they're loud and strong for us tomorrow night.
And that's the thing. I know, like, it was the Dudley 2 years ago. I was up there in Fort Frances, but I don't know if it's a love-hate relationship. But what I saw when you guys played Dryden, I don't know if it's because it was the Dudley or just I say when it comes to that love-hate, just something between you guys. You have some type of rivalry out there, don't you?
Oh, for sure. It's been a rivalry from before my time, even playing hockey against them, and obviously. There's a lot of pride in this area, and a lot of pride between both communities on the passion of their hockey, and obviously there's not a lot of love when we're on the ice against one another. Obviously, the hockey community is a little different away from the rink, and everyone seems to get along and pull for one another. When up and downs happen, but on the ice, Fort Frances Dryden is a huge rivalry, and we see each other a lot, especially at this level, and for a lot of years. So, I think we've obviously beat them in the finals the last 2 years, but ended their season, I believe, the last 4. So. Their mission or their goal is obviously to do that to us, and like I said earlier in the interview here, they're doing a good job at that right now.
And that's the thing is going from watching you, like say, watch many games this year, past hockey and everything else. It's not like you and like say I saw Coach Kurt Walston and yourself being old school guys. There's no there's no heated, like, when it comes to coaching, you two are old school. You've been around long enough that you both are quite intense when it comes to the games, eh?
For sure. We both have our intensity, and we both are obviously have our different systems or different point of view of the game. But on the ice, we know it's a battle, and sure, me and Kurt have butted heads between benches once in a while. But I think there's respect between both of us for one another, and away from the game, or if it's at a meeting or something like that. Kurt's a great guy to talk to, and obviously we get along and can BS with one another. But it's when you put that
The shirt and tie on.
helmet on, or that shirt on, so to speak, and even as a coach, you're pulling for your own team, and you're going to do whatever it takes to find your team success. So, we know it's a rivalry, we know it's a battle, and again, they're doing a good job at what they're doing, and we got to raise our level of play.
Well, thank you very much, Wayne, and good luck in Game 3 and 4, and we'll talk next week.
Okay, sounds good, Jay.
Thank you.
Thank you.